Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the League 2 review. In today's video, we're going to go through both of the playoff semi-final first legs. Firstly, between Notts County and AFC Wimbledon, and then secondly, between Chesterfield FC and Walsall FC, and have a bit of a discussion and a bit more of an in-depth review. If you do want to enjoy today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 120 likes on today's video? That'd be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. Do you think it's going to be as simple as a Wimbledon versus Walsall final? If you do, who do you think is going to be promoted? Let's waste no further time and get straight into it. Let's start out firstly then with Notts County 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. Now, I wouldn't say I was watching this game in immaculate detail. There were certain parts of the game that I did miss, but I was there for the goal, the most obviously important moment of the match, and it was a well taken header from Riley Harbottle, great cross into the box from Jake Reeves. Omar Bogle and Matty Platter in a little bit of a tussle. I've seen some Notts fans complaining about that, but if you want in a free kick for that, then the ball's never going to be in play because you're just not really going to get a free kick for that. It's not like he's gripped him and thrown him to the floor. They've both got their hands on each other, and it's a great header from Riley Harbottle. In the first half, both teams' goalkeepers made some great saves. Alex Bass got down well to his left hand side from a header from Ryan Johnson. I thought that was a really good save. Owen Goodman throughout the match made a number of excellent saves. He's a really, really good goalkeeper. I mean, to be fair, so is Alex Bass. They're two of the best three top five goalkeepers in the entire division, so credit to both of them. I did think this one would be quite tight. I actually predicted a 0-0 draw, and obviously the manner of the goal, it's not like it's a brilliant free-flowing move. It's just come from a cross into the box and your centre-half's got on the end of it. I thought Riley Harbottle made an absolutely outstanding tackle in the first half, I think it was, where shot comes in, great save from Owen Goodman, looks like Alassane Jatta, then just has a tap in, and it's a brilliant tackle from Harbottle. I had him in my top 10 at League 2 centre-backs. I had him as the best centre-back at Wimbledon. He's obviously come up with a goal in this one, made a brilliant goal-line tackle as well. Conor Grant really lacking the clinical edge throughout the match for Notts County. He missed a lot of very, very big opportunities. Obviously, Alassane Jatta did get a straight red card in the 95th minute. Now, I was actually out by the time this happened, so I wasn't actually aware. Having looked at the tackle now, you can clearly see why the referee has given it as a red card. He is being fouled. There is a man who's got, the whole of Alassane Jatta's shirt, but it's still the nature of the tackle. You can't go and do that. And even if he's not sent off for the tackle, he then will get sent off for grabbing the Wimbledon player's face. So obviously he's going to miss the second leg. He potentially will miss a playoff final, and then he'll miss one, maybe 2 games for next season because it wasn't a great challenge. I don't think he tackles two-footed, but by the point of contact, his 2 feet are making contact with the player / the ball, if that does make sense. I'm not sure if there's really much connection with Alistair Smith, who obviously takes a step or two before then throwing himself to the floor and rolling around, but that's just gamesmanship, I guess, really. It's, the dark arts of football, and maybe it could benefit Notts County not having Jatta in the side, because for a lot of this season, especially in the second half of it, he has not been very good whatsoever. Obviously, the injury or potential injury to David McGoldrick is the more disappointing thing out of the two. I think you can cope without Alassane Jatta. I'm not so sure if they can cope without David McGoldrick. Jody Jones hasn't quite been firing since he's obviously returned from injury. I think Will Jarvis definitely has to start in the second leg, but going away from home and picking up a win is massive for Wimbledon. I know that Notts are better away from home. I think they've lost their last 4 home games, have Notts County, which is obviously not particularly great, but Wimbledon, I don't see them losing on their own patch now. I could see that one being a very stop-start game, frustrating Notts County. Notts are obviously going to need to go there and take the game to Wimbledon, but if they're now without Alassane Jatta, their top goal scorer, they could potentially be without the best player in the division in David McGoldrick. That is obviously going to be a massive blow for Stuart Maynard's side, but at least he shushed the Bradford fans when McGoldrick scored an absolute worldie. Still didn't really understand that. Credit though to Wimbledon, credit to Johnny Jackson. I thought they managed the game very well in the end, and there was, like I mentioned, some good opportunities for both sides. Both teams' keepers made some really good saves in the game, but it's advantage to Wimbledon going into the second leg. And the other playoff semi-final first leg saw Walsall come away from the Chesterfield Stadium with a 2-0 win. I was trying to remember what it was called off the top of my head, but I can't really remember. Just a brilliantly executed game plan from Walsall. They've been terrible really since the middle of January, but they got the win against Crewe after, 13 or 14 games without a win, and in this one they look back to their best. They got a couple of goals in the first half, and then in the second just constantly broke play up. Lots of kind of fouls just to break the play up, but not enough to get yourself booked, and they got the job done. I thought this game would be a pretty comfortable win for Chesterfield, with the form of both teams. Chesterfield, obviously the form team, coming into it, but they were really, really poor. Their only real chances were kind of ones that just seemed to fall to them. There wasn't that slick passing style of play that we've seen from Chesterfield, and I do think they will be very disappointed with their performance. I thought Liam Mandeville had an absolute nightmare. There's an argument he's at fault for both goals, never mind just the penalty, which obviously is a great through ball from Taylor Allen. Then I think it is Liam Gordon, or Lewis Gordon, I think it's Liam Gordon, is going towards it. Mandeville just completely cleans him out. No complaints there for me, or any of the Chesterfield fans really, surely. And Allen obviously then sends the Chesterfield goalkeeper the wrong way. Great penalty from a man who's obviously proved to be a very good goal scoring centre-half this season. Last year it was Mickey Demetriou. This year it is obviously Taylor Allen, but a well-taken penalty into the bottom corner. And then the second goal comes 11 minutes after that, where again, Liam Gordon, I'm pretty sure it is Liam Gordon, he gets the better of Liam Mandeville on that Walsall left-hand side, far too easy. Ball comes across, it's a poor clearance really from Chesterfield, and Alfie Chang from the edge of the area absolutely rifles it into the back of the net. A great, composed, well-driven, low strike into the bottom corner. I'm not sure if it takes a slight deflection, but this was really important for Walsall to go away from home and get something out of it. They are now in the driver's seat, going back to their own home stadium for a lot of the playoffs so far. I don't think any of the home teams have won in the first leg, so credit to Walsall. They managed the second half very well, like I mentioned previously. A lot of fouls just to break the play up, but not enough, obviously, as you can see, to pick up a yellow card throughout the entire match, which I was surprised by. As soon as Armando Dobra came on, you could see the clear game plan from Walsall was then just to push him over. Not a bad challenge, which you're going to get yourself booked, but just bring him down at every opportunity. And Chesterfield, they had some decent opportunities in both halves. Tommy Simkin made a few decent saves as well. Peppel missed a great header late on in the game, but a real disappointing performance from Chesterfield, who I thought, coming out in the second half, they're a bit of a second half team, they'll really give it a go. But Walsall, they defended in their low block, every man behind the ball. They did very well, so big credit to Matt Sadler, who's obviously faced a lot of criticism. The majority of Walsall fans want him sacked. As you can see, only 26% possession, but I'm a big advocate of possession means nothing. It's all about winning football matches, and Walsall have done it in this one. It wasn't a pretty watch in the second half. I'm sure it was very frustrating from a Chesterfield point of view. I think it'll be very similar to what we saw in the second half and in the entirety of the second leg. Just a lot of Walsall fouling, and with them being the home team, they'll have the home crowd on them. You're not going to maybe get a referee that might cave into the pressure, where if it was the other way around, where Walsall, the away team, there's 10,000-15,000 fans on top of the referee demanding yellow cards and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, like I say, credit to Matt Sadler, credit to his side. They haven't deserved a lot of that over the last couple of months, but I think they definitely deserve some from this game, and they've got all the important advantage going into the second leg. I think Walsall Chesterfield play on Friday, and then Wimbledon Notts County play on Saturday, so obviously I have a second leg review coming out next Saturday evening as well. But to have 74% possession and just 3 shots on target goes to show that you can pass the ball between your centre halves and your keepers all you want, but it's about being clinical in the final third, and Chesterfield, they just massively lack that in this game. Now obviously I did predict a Chesterfield versus Wimbledon final. As it currently stands, I've got 50% of that accurate, but I don't think it's just going to be as simple now as Wimbledon are going to get to Wembley, Walsall are going to get to Wembley. There's going to be plenty more twists and turns in a second leg. We've all watched enough playoff football. I think the first goal and the timing of the first goal in the Chesterfield-Walsall game is going to be very, very important. Chesterfield absolutely have to get that first goal, and they really need to get it in the first half. If Walsall score at any point in the first half, or score before Chesterfield do, I'd be very confident in saying they'll be able to see it out in the second half as easy as what they did in the first leg. The Wimbledon Notts game is a little bit more harder to predict, not knowing the availability of David McGoldrick, but like I mentioned, not having Alassana Jatta in the side might mean that they have to play a slightly different style. Wimbledon, again, they're very effective at running the clock down, time wasting, just knowing how to see games out, and now they've got that advantage. Yes, they're at home. I still do think they'll try and go and get a second goal, kill the tie off, but they're not going to overcommit at times, because we all know they've got some real good attacking talent in there, but with the manager that got a little bit more conservative, a little bit more defensively assured. It is two very contrasting styles across both legs as well. You've got Walsall and Wimbledon, who are much more long ball, direct, physical, big, whereas you got Notts County and Chesterfield, who are much more possession-based, try and play attractive walk ball, and it's clear to see so far that long ball is beating walk ball. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. 120 likes, as I mentioned at the start of today's video, will be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your second leg predictions in down in the comment section down below. Who do you think will make it to Wembley? I predicted Chesterfield versus Wimbledon. I guess only time will tell if that will be correct, but if I was a betting man, I probably wouldn't stick a fiver on that. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very soon for another one.